a tiny horseshoe-shaped island in the Pacific held a secret. It was a patch of white sand and coconut palms, so small it didn't appear on most maps. But for the United States Navy, it was a vital refueling heart for the wildcats and bombers heading toward the Philippines. Elias wasn't a pilot or a decorated scout. His life was a cycle of heat, salt, and the constant fear that one spark or one stray Japanese bomb would turn the entire island into a crater. The quiet tension life at the oven was a strange mix of boredom and extreme terror. They shared stories of home of cold milkshakes in Brooklyn, or the smell of rain on a Kansas farm. The Tokyo Rose broadcasts would crackle over the shortwave radio, her haunting voice telling them they were forgotten by their country. Elias would sit atop his ammo crates, smoking a Lucky Strike, watching the stars, and praying for a breeze that never came. The midnight siren on a moonless Thursday, the peace didn't just break, it shattered. The siren wailed a low, mournful groan that sent men scrambling out of their cots in their underwear. Elias sprinted toward the ammo dump. His heart hammered against his ribs like a trapped bird. As he reached the crates, the first explosion rocked the lagoon. A sergeant screamed over the roar of anti-aircraft fire. Elias and his team began hauling heavy metal canisters of ammunition through the sand. The sand made every step feel like walking through glue. Shrapnel whistled through the air, clipping the palm leaves above them. The blast threw Elias into a ditch, burying him under a layer of hot sand. His ears were ringing. Pinned under a fallen timber near the burning fuel line, the ammo crates were right next to the fire. If the fire reached them, the entire eastern side of the base would be gone. With the heat blistering the paint on the ammo cans, Elias began throwing the canisters into a deep, water-filled trench nearby to keep them cool and prevent a chain reaction. He worked until his gloves melted onto his hands. The beautiful Blue Lagoon was covered in a film of oil and ash. Elias stood by the water's edge, his hands heavily bandaged by the base medic. The commander didn't say much in the middle of a war. There isn't much time for long speeches. He simply handed Elias a canteen of fresh water and sat down on the sand next to him. "You saved the island, son," the commander said quietly. He just felt tired. He realized then that the base wasn't made of sand, steel, or shells. It was made of the men who refused to let go of each other. The war would go on for another year, and Base 12 would eventually be abandoned to the jungle. But the story of the man who fought the fire stayed in the hearts of every sailor who made it home from that tiny speck of land in the sea.